This is the Almost Timely newsletter for the week of February 5th, 2023. What's on my mind this week? Reliable reach as a strategic imperative. This past week, I talked about the massive changes in SEO that is coming soonish, next year or two. The takeaway from that video, which I strongly encourage you to watch, is that large language models capable of answering questions like ChatGPT will dramatically change how SEO works and send far less unbranded search traffic to our websites than we've become accustomed to. It's going to upend our entire content marketing strategy. If you think about how a Google Home, a Siri, or an Alexa device work today, and the limited amount of search results they deliver when you ask them a question, that's what the future of SEO looks like, especially for unbranded search. So, one of the critical insurance policies we need to develop, and quickly, against this coming sea change is reliable reach. Now, reliable reach is not a new concept. Marketers have been talking about it with regard to marketing really since SMS vendors first coined the term way back in 2007, right? This is what, 13 years ago? No, 16 years ago. It's a concept that we still have not built marketing practices around, and we need to. So, what is reliable reach? Put simply, it is your ability to reach your audience and get their attention in a reliable and timely manner. Plenty of marketing channels have reach, right? But that reach is not reliable. For example, SEO lets you reach plenty of new customers today, but you have little control over it, right? As a channel, you can't guarantee, you even come close to guaranteeing that a certain group of people will see your content, and certainly not in a timely manner. What about social media? Public social media lets you reach your fans, but thanks to AI-based algorithms on pretty much every public social network, you are neither guaranteed to reach your followers, nor are you guaranteed it in a timely fashion. Take this example from my friend Justin Levy. Right? He put up this announcement on LinkedIn. It's a demand-based announcement, the company he works for. Look carefully at the date. I'm sure Justin would have liked for me to have seen his post sooner than 4 days later. Right? It's not like 4 hours later. This is days later after he made this post. Now, thankfully, there was nothing time-sensitive in that post, but whew. So what constitutes reliable reach? What constitutes channels of reliable reach? Go to our definition. Channels where we know our content can reach our audiences without interference from somebody else's AI, right? That rules out pretty much all public social media. Second, channels that allow us to reach that audience in a timely manner. Again, any channel where there's some kind of algorithm mediating the experience between us and our audience is not a reliable reach channel because we have no control over the timing. Right? When you want to get a campaign out the door and it's got to be timed with your store's doorbuster sale, you need that announcement to go out at the right time. So which channels constitute reliable reach? Well, here we are. Email, for one, right? You're reading this email or listening to this email or watching this email message at roughly the intended time I meant to send it. Yes, for some folks, it'll sit in their inbox for, a few days, but it arrived at least when I wanted it to arrive, right? It got to the destination, and whether the consumer consumes it, that's a separate matter, but it got there, right? Another example, SMS or messaging apps, another great example of reliable reach. When you send to your SMS list, people get the message reliably and in a timely fashion. Just hit that text all button and boom, everybody on the list gets that notification. What else constitutes reliable reach? Depending on your audience, a private social media community that you own and operate would be a great example. When we want to reach our community about an announcement for Trust Insights, we ping everybody in the Analytics for Marketers Slack group, and all 3,000 members receive the notification immediately. They get the notice. And again, just like email, they may not read it right away, but the message got there in a timely fashion to everybody we wanted it to go to. Heck, even fax machines, right? For those customers that still have them, that still constitutes reliable reach because the fax machine spits out a sheet of paper, when you send it. Depending on the timing of your campaigns, even something like direct mail might constitute that as long as the campaign was able to be planned out far enough in advance that you could get the mail drop arriving at roughly the same time. Reliable reach, in other words, is disintermediated reach. There's nothing between you and your audience, nothing substantial. Because obviously, with email, there's the internet and email servers, and with text messaging, there's telecom companies and things. But for the most part, they're not obstructing your messaging, right? There's nothing between you and your audience, and the channels, these direct to consumer channels are vital. They are vital. They're going to be even more vital to our survival as marketers, as brands in the coming years. Without them, we will have no way of reaching our audiences, and we may not even be able to buy our way to our audience with advertising. This past fall in 2022, it was midterm elections. Ask anybody who's trying to advertise during that election cycle just how much ad inventory they could even get, much less afford. Prices were sky high. It was no inventory to be had. And as we've seen in the past few years, but especially the past few months, the owners of the big tech companies that control public social media networks have made it abundantly clear that we have to be paying to play. If we want to be seen, we've got to pay to play. And so reliable reach channels that are under your control, they are your last best hope for reaching marketers, for reaching your customers. If reliable reach is not at the cornerstone of your marketing strategy this year, 2023, that was when I'm recording this year, strongly consider making it a pillar, if not the pillar, of your strategy. You are building an insurance policy against ever more intermediated AI-driven channels, and it may be the only insurance policy we have. Just, personally, if you look at the stuff that I'm publishing, the stuff that Trust Insights is publishing, things like the free LinkedIn course. Yes, we want to help people, for sure. We want to help people get new jobs, but we're also doing it just to build reliable reach channels, because the people who take that course eventually will be employed somewhere else, and we want to be able to stay in touch with them. You've got to build your list, whatever that is, whether it's a Slack group, a Discord group, an email list, an SMS list. You need to have a conduit to your customers, because the big tech companies that are asking for ever more money are not going to be particularly helpful to us anymore. Not that they ever were much to begin with, but they're really unhelpful now. All right, what else we got in the news for this week? In case you missed it, besides the GA4 course that relentlessly promoting. By the way, I put up a new video on the Trust Insights website. I'll put that in the show notes as well. It's just a quick 2-minute thing on something you really want to do in your GA4 account, like sooner rather than later, before March. But this week, the big piece was on the future of SEO, where at least I think SEO is going based on what's happening now in technology and what's coming. We don't have much time to get ready, so go watch that piece, please. It is worth your time, I promise. Other things we talked about, lots of ChatGPT stuff, the LinkedIn course, and we also did a great live stream this week on demystifying social media algorithms. Although some of the feedbacks wasn't totally demystifying; it was explaining it, but still a mystery. New courses, we've got the Measurement Strategies for Agencies course, which is free, and the Powering Up Your LinkedIn Profile for Job Hunters, which is also free, in addition to the paid Google Analytics course and the paid Google Search Console course. So go check those out. For jobs this week, we have Digital Account Manager at Surefoot, Digital Analyst and Data Product Manager at Southwatts, Digital Analytics Engineer at Southwatts, Manager of Email Acquisition and Retention at Blavity, Managing Editor, Travel Noir, Program Manager and Consumer Revenue, and Senior Copy Editor and Social Commerce Strategy, all at Blavity. So they are doing a ton of hiring over there, which is always great to see. In other news this week, folks are asking, is Instagram dying? What is content intelligence? New Google ad labeling and automation of dull SEO tasks, an AI classifier from OpenAI to detect generated AI text, which is kind of like an Ouroboros, like a snake eating its own tail kind of thing, but cool. Auto ML and democratization. And this week over on the fun stuff I'm doing with the Save Warrior None campaign, I published my first crack edit, which is an expression for kind of a goofy video. I did one on Groundhog Day. You can check that out in the Dealer's Choice section if you want to watch it. It's like a minute and a half on YouTube. It was a lot of fun. Upcoming events. Martechopia in London at the end of March. Use code MARSpeaker20 for 20% off the ticket price. And I'll be at B2B Ignite in Chicago in May, along with a bunch of other folks we know, Andy Crestodina, Ashley Zeckman, a bunch of other great folks. That's going to be a fun event as well. If you've got an event coming up and you want someone to talk intelligently about things like AI and ChatGPT, let me know. Happy to have that conversation. That's all for the news this week. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here in this reliable reach channel. And I hope truly that you build yours as well, because I cannot understate the importance of having a way of getting in touch with people that does not have an AI in the middle. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.